And I'm Dante.
And today we will be discussing haunted castles. If you have a fascination with castles like I do, then stay tuned because there's some very interesting castles that you've probably never heard of that are extremely haunted. And I thought I knew all the haunted castles, but I was wrong because I came across some that I had never even heard of. And apparently they're on the list of the most haunted castles in the world. So let's see, Dante, what do you have?
Well, I have a castle in Ireland, a place called Leap Castle in County Offaly, and it's widely considered the world's most haunted, with a gruesome history dating back to the 1500s, renowned for the bloody chapel and a hidden spike-filled obliette.
Renowned for the
It is
bloody what?
bloody chapel
Bloody
is
chapel?
reputed. Yep, it is reputedly inhabited by numerous spirits, including a malevolent or elemental creature, a red lady, and a murdered priest. Now, the bloody castle, I
Is it
mean,
bloody
sorry,
chapel
bloody
or bloody
chapel,
castle?
bloody chapel. Bloody chapel is because a priest was murdered by his own brother during mass in this room, which was later found to contain a hidden dungeon filled with human remains.
Which was later found to be a. Wait, where'd you
A,
go? How'd you get from priest that was murdered to a dungeon full of human remains?
this is about the bloody chapel.
So they murdered his brother and threw him in a dungeon?
Mm-hmm. Murdered his own brother during mass in which later found to contain a hidden dungeon filled with human remains.
Oh, so they had murdered lots of people.
Mm-hmm. Mm. The elemental spirit is supposedly an horrific small hunchback creature accompanied by the stench of decaying flesh and sulfur, often seen in the chapel ruins.
Ew, I don't want to come
Mm-hmm.
across that.
Mm.
Oh
And
no, so it's a small hunchback creature. Is that what it says?
yep.
I wonder how small. I wonder if it's like leprechaun small, or like fairy small, or like just like a really short human.
Mm.
Either way, anyway, it'll still be freaky as hell to me. So,
Mm, yes. And the Red Lady spirit is in fact a tall woman in a red dress carrying a dagger, believed to be the ghost of a woman held captive and killed by the O'Carroll clan.
and why was she held captive? Was she like a princess or a queen, or like
Um,
does it say what how she was related to the castle and why they would hold her captive? She had to be important if they were holding her captive.
hmm, um, and the oubliette is in fact a hidden dungeon pit containing spiked floors for torturing prisoners. Yikes.
So the floors are full of spikes, and they just throw people down in there on top of the spikes.
Yes, they did.
Well, these must be some really big spikes because if there are little spikes, then bodies would cover up the spikes, and then the people they throw down won't get hit by the spikes because they land on the bodies. So they must have put some really tall spikes.
Yes, indeed. according to the legend, she was taken prisoner by a member of the Carol clan and had unspeakable things and became pregnant. And after giving birth, the clan members killed
She what?
the.
How'd she get pregnant?
Hmm?
She was pregnant by one of the clan members.
Yes, she was.
What did you say? Unspeakable things?
Yes, unspeakable things.
What? What did unspeakable things? What happened?
Uh,
What do you mean?
a certain word that we can't use on the broadcast. And then after giving
Oh,
birth, yeah, and after giving birth, the clan members then
the R word.
killed. Yeah, the clan members then killed the baby, driving the mother to despair and suicide using the same dagger. So she is in fact holding the dagger, wanting to seek revenge for the murder of a child from a captive.
That's sad.
Mm. She has
I
been
wonder why they
seen
killed the baby.
in various parts of the castle, particularly the Blue Room, which was formerly a nursery. That kind of makes sense. Well, they probably murdered the baby because probably it was what they would deem an abomination.
No, but they're the ones that got her pregnant, so it's like their own blood.
Well, you would think that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Obviously not. So currently, the castle is actually privately owned by a man called Sean Ryan and his family, who have been renovating it since 1994.
Where's this castle?
So,
In Ireland?
yep, in Ireland.
And it's spelled leap, like leap year?
Yep, it is. That's correct.
I never heard of that one.
Mm-hmm.
And what else do they have? Are there any other spirits or ghosts that haunt the place?
Nope, just those that we've spoken about.
Well, okay, so those are two of them. Well, I happen to have a castle that has over 100
100,
ghosts.
really?
Over 100.
Goodness.
Yes. Now, the castle is called Dragshom Castle. Dragshholm.
Interesting. Where's that?
And it is a Danish castle.
Oh, Danes. Oh, I see.
Now, it says it's a popular tourist attraction nowadays and wedding venue. Because it's now a luxury hotel. I mean, it's beautiful. If you see the photos of it, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Uh-huh.
The whole entire thing's all white. It looks really
Mm,
pretty. Okay, it was
mm.
built in 1215 by the Bishop of Roskilde. It was attacked a couple of times through the centuries, from 1536 to 1664.
Oh,
And people who stay there know it's haunted. Over 100 ghosts haunted. And it says,
that's no.
okay, the castle back from 1536 to 1664, the castle was used as a prison for noble and ecclesiastical prisoners.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
Even then, ruling Bishop of Rothschild was imprisoned here. So the guy who built it ended up getting imprisoned in his own castle. The guy who built it in 1215. He
What?
is one of the ghosts that haunt Dragsholm Castle.
That kind
But did you know that the fourth Earl of Bothwell, James Hepburn, died an agonizing death here too?
really? No, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
So, Dragsholm Castle, or how the Danish call it, Dragsholm Slot. So it's in Denmark, obviously, Denmark, Europe,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it's located on the Danish island Zealand, just an hour away from Copenhagen.
Oh,
So
right.
that's pretty cool. It's on an island. Yeah, I'd like to live there. Well, I know, no. Now that I know it has over 100 ghosts, I don't know if I want to live there. Like, I could put up with maybe like less than 10 ghosts. It's more than 10, then that's a little too chaotic for me. But it is
Yeah.
beautiful, and it's on an island, and you know how much I love islands. So,
What about the poor people living in the bloody hotel? 100 ghosts.
well, people don't live in a hotel; they just stay there for a short amount of period and leave.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
That's why it's a hotel, not a home. Okay, so it was built in 1215 again by the Bishop of Rothschild. It looked more like a palace than a castle. And actually, yes, when you look at it, it looks like a palace, not a castle. It's really pretty though. Okay, and so it was fortified during the Middle Ages, and it was done so well that the castle is extremely strong. It's so strong that it was the only castle still standing after the so-called Counts feud from 1534 to 1536. During this war, the Protestant Count Christopher of Oldenburg supported the Catholic Christian II to become king. They seized Dragsholm Castle, and in 1536 it became the official castle of the Danish crown. Hmm. Remember, it was built in
Okay.
1215, though. So this is like 300 some years later. Okay. It was
Yeah.
attacked by the Swedish as well. They tried to blow the castle up and succeeded quite well.
Did they?
The king was in massive debt after the war and was forced to sell the castle to a noble. This noble restored the castle and gave it a Baroque style. The nobleman's family died out in 1932, so not that long ago, and the castle was turned over to the Central Land Board. They sold the castle to a private owner named J.F. Botger, who turned it into a luxurious hotel. So the people that bought the castle hundreds of years ago, that nobleman's family had it until 1932 when they finally died out and had no more
I
members of the
see.
family. So they had it for hundreds of years. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's massive. And it also has a royal prison because, as I mentioned earlier, from 1536 to 1664, Dragsholm Castle was used as a prison for noble and ecclesiastical prisoners. Even the last Bishop of Rothschild, whose predecessors owned the castle, was imprisoned simply
Mm-hmm.
because he was against Christian II. He was kept in a large tower at the northeast corner of the castle. The prisons were equipped with toilets and windows, depending on which crime you had committed and the seriousness of the insults towards the king. So look at they had toilets and windows back in the day, in the
Okay.
1500s. And so some of the famous prisoners that were at Dragsholm were Joachim Hirono, James Hepburn, Aisler Brockenhuss, who used to be the confidant to the king. Now, there are over 100 ghosts haunting Dragsholm Castle, but a few of them stand out more than others.
Yeah.
Psychics and mediums have tried to communicate with these ghosts, and some interesting information has come from their communications with the beyond the grave. So They say that the
Mm.
last bishop of Rothschild haunts the castle tower. That's where he was imprisoned.
Right.
And it says today those cells are turned into modern hotel rooms. Guests who have stayed here have reported moaning and wailing sounds from the hallways on the second floor. Mm.
Mm.
Now, there's the ghost of Edgler Brockenhus, who was once the king's confidant, but somehow he blew it with the king and ended up in prison. He is nicknamed the Mad Squire because he lost his sanity towards the end of his imprisonment.
Ah.
He was only able to blurt out bitter and abusive dialogues, which people were unable to follow. You can still hear him rambling in the corridors near where his cell used to be.
Mm.
Wow, this place seems very active. Now,
Mm.
James Hepburn, the fourth Earl of Bothwell, also haunts this castle. He was engaged to a Danish Norwegian woman named Anne Ruston. When he took off to Scotland to marry Queen of Scots, no wonder I was like, his name sounds familiar.
Ah.
So he was engaged to a woman by the name of Anne Rusting when he took off to Scotland and married the Mary Queen of Scots. He took Anne's sizable dowry with him. What
Mm.
a jerk. And so that was a big mistake, obviously, because when James was accused of murdering the second husband of the Scottish Queen, Lord Darnley, he decided to flee to Denmark.
Mm.
Now, why would he do that? If that's didn't he remember stealing all the money from his betrothed Anne Rustung? Okay, so
Mm.
when he fled back to Denmark after he was accused of murdering the second husband of Mary Queen of Scots,
Yep.
the humiliated yet powerful father of Anne Rustung tracked the Earl down and made sure he got punished. His days in prison were horrible. He was chained to the wall and left to die.
Goodness me.
He was only 44 years old when he died in his cell. This ghost is
Wow.
frequently seen at the castle, and he's also seen entering the castle in a ghostly horse-drawn carriage.
Hmm.
And actually, too, his mummified body is kept in a nearby, I don't know how you pronounce this, Faravigil Kirch, as pictured above. So, um, yeah, so it's spelled
Yeah.
Faareveglecurch. So his mummified body is kept in there. But so they chained him to the prison walls and just left him to die. So they didn't keep him alive for very long. They, I guess, basically starved him and just let him die hanging on to the shackles he was in.
Hmm. Poor guy.
So no wonder why I recognize that name, because I have seen the full story of Mary Queen of Scots. And
Mm.
I was like, oh, this name sounds familiar, but I couldn't remember who it was. And now it makes sense. Okay, now there's someone else. This is a sad story.
Mm.
It's about a lady in white that haunts the castle. And many people have seen her. And every time she appears to be looking for someone. And those who have seen her get succumb to great sadness.
Oh, I see.
And that's not surprising when you actually hear her story.
Yeah.
She is believed to be the ghost of Selina Bolves, daughter of the powerful and noble Bolves family. It's Bolves.
Mm-hmm.
Selina, spelled Celina with a C,
Mm-hmm.
not an S. She fell in love with a commoner who worked at the castle. Selina's father did not approve of the relationship and prohibited his daughter from seeing the commoner again.
Mm-hmm.
But she loved this man so much, and she even got pregnant. When her father found out, of course, he was furious and he had her imprisoned. He imprisoned his own daughter.
Wow.
Can you believe that? It says she was chained to the wall just like James Hepburn was. But
Mm-hmm.
what happened to her was even worse. A wall was built around her. So she was chained to the wall with a wall built around her and was left to die. In the 1930s, okay, hundreds of years later,
Mm-hmm.
workers found her remains inside a wall in the castle's basement. She was found wearing her white dress. That's sad.
Mm.
I wonder what happened to the baby. I guess it would have been like a little fetus when she died.
Yeah, it's
I mean, if they found her bones, would they found the bones of the baby too? Then, because the baby would have been in her tummy.
yeah.
Now, another one. Okay, well, this one is going to sound kind of funny. There's a happy ghost that lives at Dragsholm Castle.
There is.
Yes.
Hmm.
The Grey Lady. She used to be a maid working at the castle.
Oh, I see.
One day she had a terrible toothache, and the master of the castle felt bad for her, so he gave her a poultice, which relieves her pain. She
Yeah.
died a while later, but still likes to show her gratitude. Her ghost is extremely helpful. She does good deeds, and she's very protective of the castle. She's often seen at night, guarding the castle in a very happy manner.
Yeah.
So she's happy because the master of the castle treated her well, helped her when she had a terrible toothache.
Uh,
Castle is beautiful. You really have to see these photos. Now, today, the beautiful Dragsholm Castle is a luxurious hotel with beautiful gardens and even a golf course.
golf course?
Yes, which I love. It's so beautiful. I would love to get married there one day. It's gorgeous. And I would go and talk to the happy ghost, and I'd be like, "So, tell me all the gossip going on here, girl."
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll tell me about all the evil ghosts. And she'll be like, "Well, there's this one and this one and that one and that one. Avoid him. He's at the east wing. He's in the west wing. He's in the north wing. He's in the south wing." I'd be like, "Okay, got it." See, she'd give me all the lowdown and all the bad ghosts. So, um, now the castle's located right in the middle of meadows and lakes, which gives it a magical touch, like a fairy tale.
Mm.
They even have a Michelin starred restaurant in it.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, would you dare to book a room here?
No.
Oh, I definitely would. Oh, yeah. I'd love to
What?
have a wedding there. I think that would be awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'd go and have fun with the fun, happy gray lady maid. We become
Uh-huh.
like best buds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gorgeous. The place is gorgeous. If you see how beautiful it is, you'd be like, yeah, I'd go there. I mean, it has a golf course and a Michelin star restaurant. Like, what more can you ask for?
Hmm.
Well, I guess you could ask for a place that doesn't have over 100 ghosts. But but now that I know it has a Michelin star restaurant and it has a golf course, I'm still willing to go there, even though it has over 100 ghosts. Because it
Goodness
can't be
me.
that bad. These ghosts can't be really harmful ghosts. Because if they're evil spirits or evil ghosts, then it would not be a luxurious hotel. It would not be a wedding venue. All these people would not be staying there. It wouldn't have a Michelin star restaurant.
Yeah.
So clearly, the ghosts there are well-behaved ghosts. They're probably people that got murdered in those dungeons and were imprisoned in the walls,
Yeah.
and they were good people, and now they're just roaming around because they died a tragic death.
Oh, that is a distinct possibility.
Yep. So yes, that is. Wait, let me see. I guess that's it for my Drax Home Castle.
Okay.
And it has to be one of the most beautiful castles I've seen. Yeah, because it looks like a palace. It really does. It was built to look like a palace and not a castle, but technically it's a castle.
I see.
Okay, so now your turn. What do you have?
I have Bren Castle in Romania, also
Oh, I
known
know
as
that one. Dracula.
Dracula's Castle. Yes,
Yes, that one I know a lot about.
which is famous for its spooky legends. Chilling atmosphere is largely driven by marketing the Dracula mythos and local lore about Strigoi, the undead, rather than direct connections to Vlad the Impaler. Now, stories suggest that spirits of children haunt the courtyards and the gardens. So that's interesting.
Children.
Yes.
I wonder if there were a lot of children that were killed at the castle. Ooh,
The
what if it was to suck their blood or bathe in their blood to stay young?
well, it is Vlad the Impaler. So, yeah, I'm not so sure about
Yeah, I wonder if he impaled children as well. He probably did because he was so evil.
it. Yeah, that's a possibility. Though Vlad probably killed their parents.
Yeah,
Because it
but they
wasn't
wouldn't
said
be
that he had.
they wouldn't be wondering there if their parents were killed there
Hmm, it was never
because
said in the
spirits.
history books whether, he had children's heads in spikes. He mainly had adult ones, people that crossed it.
Yeah, but the children could have been his kids or other kids that were children of people that worked in the castle that died of illnesses or diseases.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to remember, back in the day, lots of kids died. Like that's why some people had so many kids because half of them would die
Yeah,
from
that's true.
diseases and illnesses. So it's like if you had 12 kids, probably 6 or 8 of them would die, and then you'd be left with like 4 or 6 of them out of the 12.
Mm, yeah, quite. So
Let's see how many children.
no, he doesn't.
Huh.
So local Romanian folklore includes the Strigoi, or night walking souls, which connect the area's vampiric reputation. It is said that at night the dead walk around. That's a spooky thought.
Did they
Definitely
walk around
wouldn't
the
mind to see
castle?
that. Yeah, around the castle grounds and the courtyard. It's apparently they don't go inside the castle itself.
Oh, yeah, those are probably all the people that were impaled outside of the castle.
Yeah, it could well be. Now, the atmosphere of the castle itself is a lot of narrow staircases, hidden winding passages, including one behind a fireplace, and as detailed as chilling, dark corners create a deeply unsettling. Now, the real thing. Vlad the Impaler. Despite being labeled as his home, there is no historical evidence that Vlad the Impaler lived at or was imprisoned in Bran Castle. However, we all know the story that Bram Stoker brought the story of Dracula to life, but it was said that he never visited Romania and did not
Mm-hmm.
base his fictional castle on Bran.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I think it's a different story. Now, many tourists have been flocking to that castle. Many travelers suggest checking out spookier sites in Transylvania for true thrills. However, the site remains a top attraction for, can you
Ghost
guess?
hunters. Ghost hunters.
No, it's a
The
top
castle you're
attraction
talking
for
about?
Halloween.
The castle is?
People like to go there for Halloween, yeah, for its gothic atmosphere.
Mm. The castle doesn't look like much.
Yeah, doesn't particularly. I would have thought that, a castle like that would be more grander.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
So is that the info on Bram Castle?
Yep.
Okay, now here's one that is interesting. I think it's really cool actually. And it is Predjama Castle. It's one of the best preserved cave castles in the world. It's located in Slovenia and was probably built in the 12th century. They're not quite sure, but they believe it was built in the 12th century. It was once home to Aramis Lug, a knight and robber baron. He
Ah,
was
right.
able to live a rather peaceful life until he killed Frederick III's kinsman. Frederick III was the Holy Roman Emperor at the time. So you don't want to mess
Ah,
with the Roman emperors.
yeah, definitely.
No, no.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
By doing this, he of course angered both the Roman emperor and the House of Habsburg.
Especially not if he's
So
Caligula.
he fled to his castle,
Hmm.
but his castle Prejama was besieged for a year.
Oh, it was. Oh,
Lug's enemies even poisoned the water well. So how was he able to survive?
mm-hmm. They poisoned the water well.
Yes, because he was locked in his castle, hiding in his castle. They had surrounded, for a year, and so they're trying to kill him.
Uh-huh.
So they poisoned the water source, but yet he still survived. They don't
Oh,
know
so he
how.
didn't drink water then. Probably drunk wine or mead.
Okay, so Pajama Castle in Slovenia is Pajama Grad or Grad Pajama. Okay,
Uh,
so it's a very massive, impressive castle which is built inside a cave. Now, not all of it's in the cave, but like 90% of it's in the cave. And this makes it an impregnable medieval stronghold with an amazing history. For example, the story about the Slovenian Robin Hood.
Yeah.
And also, the cave under the castle is home to a colony of bats. But there's something else that lurks here as well. Ooh. Yeah, I've been to so many caverns in my life. I love going to caverns. And this one looks really cool. Like, I would love to tour this one. Okay. So, before the castle was even built, the cave itself was home to cave people during the Paleolithic era. And it's
Oh,
the
what?
second largest cave in Slovenia. Yes. So there's when people used to like bang each other on the head and be like, "You, my wife, now." Yeah.
Go back to caveman times. You wait, no.
And then the wife would bang him on the head. Me,
Yeah.
divorce, you now.
Mm.
So, okay, now the actual biggest, this is the second largest cave in Slovenia. The biggest cave is about 5 miles away, and that's Postajna Cave. Okay,
Uh,
so the castle was named Castle Lug, Luegg.
right.
Okay, that was the first name it had before it
Mm-hmm.
became Pajama Castle. Not pajamas, like pajamas you sleep in,
Yeah.
but pajama. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I think I'm gonna just call it Pajama Castle now. It sounds kind of fun. Woo woo! Sleepover, pillow fight, watch the bats in the cave fly around. Okay, so
Get covered in
now it
guano.
was ew. Okay, so the castle was originally named Castle Lug. Okay, it was first mentioned in 1274, but it was probably built in the 12th century. So it's probably built like 100 years before it was ever first mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So back then, Slovenia was a part of the German Empire. And Lug, Luegg, is the name of a German family who owned the castle back then.
I see.
In the 1400s, one Erasmus Lug ruled the castle.
Oh, right.
During his reign, the castle got heavily damaged after having been seized by the Habsburgs for over a year. Yeah, you don't want to mess with the Habsburgs either. The Oberberg family took over the damaged castle and rebuilt it around 1510. Okay, so about 400 years, almost 400 years after it was built, the
Ah,
Oberberg family took over the damaged castle. So,
see.
because it was heavily damaged after the Habsburgs seized it.
Yeah.
Okay, now it was rebuilt in 1510, but unfortunately, the castle was nearly destroyed during a massive earthquake in 1511. So, not just like a year later, or less than a year later, an earthquake
Wow.
basically almost decimates the whole thing. Now, so then in 1570, the current castle was built in a Renaissance style. And it's right in the middle of a 400-foot or 123-meter high cliff. Yes, it is. It looks really cool, though. It's right under the
Okay.
original medieval fortification. So that means the original one was higher up than 404 feet.
Yeah.
And it
Mm.
says more recently, the castle has been used as a hunting lodge for various Austrian aristocrats. But the Yugoslavian government put a stop to that after World War II, and it became a tourist attraction. That's really pretty. It has beautiful views too. I like to visit that
Mm.
place. Okay, so Erasmus Lug or Erasm Luger, depends how you want to pronounce the name,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
was a very clever knight and robber baron. He was like a Robin Hood of the time. He stole from the rich and gave to the poor. So he's like the original Robin Hood.
Oh. Oh.
And he was the son of the imperial governor of Trieste, Nikolaj Lug. And he was never a target until he killed the kingsman Marshal Pappenheim of Frederick III. Remember, that was the Holy Roman Emperor.
Yeah.
So he angered both the Roman Emperor and the House of Habsburg. So that's why he had to
Mm-hmm.
flee to his castle.
I
Now, the Habsburgs were convinced he wouldn't last long. They had even poisoned the water wells. But peculiarly, Erasmus was able to remain safe and alive for over a year in the castle.
yeah.
Now, how is that possible?
Hmm. I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
there was, you say, thanks to a large vertical natural shaft behind the castle leading out to the open on the other side of the mountain. He was able to sneak in and out without being seen, even setting out on his plundering expedition. So he was still being Robin Hood. They thought he was locked in the castle. He was actually out robbing from the rich and giving to the poor.
Right.
Servants were able to get fresh food and rainwater conservation. Oh, they had a rainwater conservation system.
Oh.
So that's how he wasn't poisoned by the water, because
Ah.
I figured that's what was happening, that he was drinking rainwater or water
Mm-hmm.
from a waterfall. So the servants were able to get fresh food and rainwater, because the conservation system they had, it provided the castle's residents with fresh water. So Erasmus liked to tease his attackers by throwing fresh local products at his attackers, like cherries.
Mm-hmm.
What's a cherry gonna do to someone? They'll be like, "Oh no, run! He's throwing cherries at us!" Like, I don't know. This kind of reminds me of that Monty Python skit when they go to the castle of the
Yes.
French,
Yes. Yes.
and the French start throwing animals at them.
Yes. Yes. That's right. Yeah.
But imagine if it wasn't animals, it was cherries. Like, seriously,
Yeah.
cherries? How are cherries gonna like harm anybody? They'd just be like, "These are yummy. Give me more."
Well, they do have stones inside them. So,
Yeah, but they're all cushioned around them.
mm,
He didn't say he was throwing cherry pits at them. He said actual cherries.
mm,
So I mean, he was just giving his attackers food to eat, yummy food. So,
yeah.
but eventually, hmm, everything came to an end when Erasmus was betrayed by one of his own servants. He raised a flag when Erasmus was using his toilet in one of the outer, less protected buildings, and the cannon ended his life.
Oh, right.
So basically, he was going to the bathroom when he was killed. And that is a horrible way for, I mean, come on. Why would his servant betray him like that? That's awful.
It is, yeah.
I'm guessing he was taking the number two because he was in there long
Mm-hmm.
enough for them to put the cannonball in the cannon and launch it. So that's pretty messed up. Okay, now the place where he's buried is marked with a tree. So he didn't even get like a proper burial ground. Ooh, now this looks there's a torture chamber here. Ew. Okay,
Mm.
so because the castle was built to defend itself, it had some surprises in stock as well for any intruders. The intruders would be surprised by all these different things that the castle had that they did not know about, including holes in the ceiling of the entrance tower for pouring down boiling oil onto intruders. And there's a very dark dungeon. Imagine pouring boiling oil down; that would kill them. That would like peel off all their skin, like cook them alive.
Mm.
There was a space in between the walls of the dungeon made to brick people in the wall. Bones were, I guess that was a common thing back then because the other castles did the same thing. They put people like in walls, put bricks around them. and just let them die. So bones were found inside the thick wall. If you were an enemy and captured by them, they would bring you to court. Inside the castle was a small courtroom which overlooked the small torture chamber. Also, in the courtroom, there was a door leading to a deep 63-meter or 207-foot vertical cave drop. So either you were tortured or executed on the spot by being thrown into the cave that was 207 feet down or 63 meters down.
Mm-hmm.
So there was nothing in between. Those were your only two options. If you were found guilty, was you get tortured or you get executed by being thrown down the cave. Okay, on the bottom of the shaft, the bones of the unfortunate souls still rest. They were never recovered. So imagine how many hauntings that place must have. All those dead bodies down there. Now, the castle has been investigated by several paranormal teams and shows. According to some psychics, the ghost of Erasmus still haunts the castle looking for revenge. In 2008, Ghost Hunters International visited the castle, and paranormal evidence was found both inside the castle and in the caves behind it. Footsteps and voices are heard all around. Guys, it's kind of cool to have like your home is like a massive giant cave in a mountain. Okay, so people can hear voices and footsteps all around them. The caves underneath the castle are mineral caves with quartz and iron, and you know what that does, right? You know what quartz does and what minerals do? Minerals store energy. So paranormal entities love that because they use that energy like as if they were like batteries. You know, they drain the energy from the minerals so that they can do what they need to do.
Yeah, I see.
Now, some say that the captured souls of the people who got locked in during the 1511 earthquake still try to get out. Hmm. Okay, so this looks really cool. You have to see the photos of it. It's really cool looking because you see like
Mm-hmm.
kind of a small castle building on the outside of a cave, and then it disappears into the cave. It's massive, massive cave system,
I
and it's
see.
like built on this big cliff.
Yeah.
Okay, nowadays it's open to the public. You can take a tour around the castle, and also includes part of the cave system. But if you're more adventurous, you can also take the extended cave tour. But don't do it in the winter because in the winter that's when the bats will be disturbed, and we don't want to disturb the bats. So if you visit, make sure to buy a combination ticket to the Pasjana Caves. That's the largest cave system in Slovenia
Mm-hmm.
because they are amazing and people can even get married there.
Yeah.
So I guess you get a combination ticket, which is a ticket for the Pasjana Caves and for Pajama Castle. Now, Pajama Castle is actually in the Guinness Book of World Records because why do you think it's in the Guinness Book of World Records? Hello?
Yep. Oh, is it
Waiting
my
for
turn?
your answer.
Okay. So,
No, I asked you, why do you think it's in the Guinness Book of World Records?
um, hmm, I don't know. Why is it in the Guinness Book of World Records?
Because it's one of the best preserved cave castles in the world.
Oh, right.
It's such an impressive building that has been featured in several movies. like the 1986 movie Armor of God featuring Jackie Chan. It
Ah,
also
yeah, I
inspired
remember that.
George R. Martin for Game of Thrones.
Oh, really?
And yes, so this is the inspiration for Game of Thrones, this castle.
Oh,
And
interesting.
here's a funny little tidbit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really think it's funny, but
Mm-hmm.
they say it's funny. In 1991, so that's not too long ago,
Mm-hmm.
back when we were little wee ones,
Mm-hmm.
a 16th century chest full of treasure was found in the cellar.
Oh,
So that means
really?
it's from the 1500s. So that means that belonged to the second family that bought the place. Remember? They
Yeah.
bought the place in the 1500s.
Yep. Yep.
So they had to put that treasure there
Mm.
because the original owner owned it in the 1200s, Castle Luke, but then the Oberberg family took over the damaged castle and rebuilt it in 1510. So yeah, so the Oberberg family were very wealthy, clearly, and left a big
Oh.
treasure there that was only discovered in 1991. I wonder how come no other family members got the treasure after, like, like it wasn't passed down to other family members. Like, why just leave a treasure there and not let it be used for something good?
Hmm.
But it's really cool. I would love to visit there, but there's of course, lots of walking and lots of stairs in the cave system,
Yeah.
and yeah, you can even see the torture chamber. And
Hmm.
the torture chamber does not look fun, I'll tell you.
No.
They
No,
have
just
like
wouldn't.
a they have like a person hanging from a rope by their wrists, so that like dislocates their arms.
Oof.
And they have this weird other thing that's like a big wooden pole with chains and shackles on it. And I guess they would chain people to this wooden pole, but
Hmm.
what else would that wooden pole be used for? Why would they chain them to that wooden pole instead of just chain them to the cave walls?
Mm.
Hmm. Maybe it was some other torture device.
Yeah, it could have well been.
That's new. Okay, so that is Pred, Predjama. Or if you
Oh.
want to call it Pajama Castle, that's fine too. I don't care. Because it's not my castle.
Uh-huh.
But Pajama Castle, yes, it's in the Guinness Book of Records, and it seems like a really cool, awesome place to visit, and I would love to visit it.
Hmm.
And that would be, I don't know if I'd get married there, but it'd be a cool place to visit. I actually would like to live there. That would be so cool. And I don't want to live in the torture chamber. That I would have sealed off. Like
Yeah.
all torture chambers, I would have sealed off, covered, like, or changed to some other kind of room. No, but they're probably super haunted from all the people that were killed there. So I would just have it like filled in with cement and covered.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what else do you have?
Right. I have. We're going to Germany this time.
Ah, okay.
Going to a castle in Germany called the Burg El
Mm-hmm.
Castle. And it's considered to be extremely haunted, primarily the spirit of a young woman by the name of Agnes, who reportedly died defending the 12th century castle. Legend has it that she haunts the countess room and the hallways with reports of mysterious noises, disembodied whispers, and doors found.
And what?
So,
Doors?
doors, yeah.
I can hear you. What's wrong with the doors?
Doors were repeatedly found unlocked when they
Oh,
were originally
she
locked.
unlocks doors.
Mm-hmm.
What's the castle today? Is it a hotel, a tourist attraction, someone's home? Hello?
Mm, it's not stated whether it's uh, someone's home or, but it is a bit of a tourist attraction.
Oh, okay.
Visitors can actually tour the castle, which looks like it's from a fairy tale surrounded by a forest in Bercham, Germany. Now, the story of obviously the people want to know the story of Agnes, so I shall get into it right now. Okay, so Agnes is the most prominent ghost in the castle. She was the daughter of the 15th Count of Eltz, and according to legend, she refused a marriage proposal from a slightly abusive knight, resulting in his army attacking the castle,
Oh man, because he
because
doesn't
she
take
jumped down.
rejection well.
Yeah, not particularly, no. Angus allegedly put on her brother's armor to defend her home from the ongoing marauders, but she was
Killed.
unfortunately killed. So
That's sad.
the Countess room where she now haunts and inhabits was a former bedroom and is considered the most haunted spot where her armor and battle axe are still displayed.
On display in her former bedroom.
Yep, that's right. Which is now.
Well, that's probably why she haunts the place because the armor she was actually wearing when she died is there. So it's probably the
Yes.
armor that's haunted
Yep. Yep.
because the items can be
Uh,
haunted too.
yep. Yeah, that's true. So staff have reported that they've heard childlike giggles in the hallways in the castle. They felt cold spots and are also seen lights switching on and off.
And they all
And
believe that's Agnes or other ghosts.
they believe
A
that's Agnes,
combination
yes.
of them. Oh, just
Hmm.
Agnes? Okay. What do the other ghosts do?
And some legends have even mentioned a phantom of a medieval knight on horseback near the gates.
Oh, that sounds cool. Now I wonder if it's that bad n- like knight that attacked the castle though. That would not be good.
It
Like
could
what if
well
he's
be,
still
yeah.
there trying to get her to marry him?
Yes, it could well be.
I think he's a stalker
Yes. So,
because he
despite
was
these
like, "Well, if
legends,
I can't have you, no one can have you. I will kill you. I will attack your castle."
nothing's changed nowadays. So, despite these legends, Bergeltz is not considered a horror attraction, but a remarkably preserved 18, 850-year-old family treasure. Is often visited for its
850-year-old
history.
family treasure.
Yep, it is often visited for its history, agriculture,
Well,
and
that
for
means it's
some,
owned by the same family then, I guess.
it's good,
If
mate.
they say it's an 850-year-old family treasure, then that has to mean like the descendants of the original owners still own it. So that
Yep,
means
that's correct.
Agnes's great great descendants are the owners of it, even though she didn't have any kids. But if she had any siblings, their siblings' kids,
Yes, yes, definitely.
and then their kids, and then their kids, and their kids. So it's been passed down through the family.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Mm. Yep.
Well, I learned lots about these castles. I mean, half of these that we spoke about I had heard of, the other half I had not heard of.
Uh-huh.
So
Right.
I was pleasantly surprised. So I'm glad when I hear about things I've never heard of before because I like to learn something new every day.
Mm.
So they don't mention anything else about any of the other ghosts that haunt the place. They just mainly talk about Agnes.
No, they mainly focus on Agnes.
Yeah, I guess because she's the dominant one. Oh, that's sad. What is Psycho though? Was Psycho to go and attack her castle because she refused his hand in marriage?
Yes.
Wait,
Well, he wasn't.
was she engaged to him and then she called off the engagement, or he asked for hand in marriage and she said no?
He asked for her hand in marriage, but due to the fact that he was quite an abusive man, she decided, no, I'm not interested.
Which is
Which
kind of
then,
surprising that she got to decide because normally the parents arrange the marriages.
hmm
So I guess the parents let her choose, or maybe she like begged the parents, like, please don't. He's abusive. He's crazy.
well, obviously he was, like a very rude person. Poss. Start.
Rude.
She's
I
she
wouldn't
saw
describe him
this
as
and
weird or
decided,
as
no, I'm
rude.
not.
I would describe him as psycho
Mm.
because to go to the extreme, like instead of just taking the rejection like a man and being like, okay, that's fine, I'll go marry someone else.
So
Instead, decided to
obviously,
attack the castle and kill her.
upon meeting him, obviously saw that he was a very rude and abusive man, and then decided, nope, I'm not marrying him. Sorry, not
Well, you
happening.
never know. She could have known him for years, and like
Hmm.
she could have known like the history about him. Because people talk. So even though there wasn't social media, but word probably got around that this guy was a lunatic, and we don't know if he'd been married before and killed any previous wives. Like that's not mentioned, but clearly she had heard stuff about him that was not good. She probably met him and got bad vibes from him. But I doubt he would do something bad in front of her because he's trying to get her and her parents to allow the marriage. So in front of them, he was probably acting like Prince Charming. But in reality, they probably had heard stories about all the evil, crazy stuff he had done. And that's when they said, no, we don't want you to marry our daughter. She doesn't want to marry you. And he went berserk. Like he's like one of those modern day serial killers or stalkers. I mean, stalkers will go like, oh, if I can't have you, no one else can have you. And they try to kill the person they're stalking because the person they're stalking doesn't want to be with them. That's exactly how he's behaving. It's like, oh, you don't want to be with me? Well, you're not going to be with anyone else then. I'm going to attack your home and kill you. That's ridiculous. But what I don't know is, where were the guards of this castle? Why was she defending the castle? Where was everyone else? She should have been defending the castle. I
Yes, her
mean,
suitor
it's like,
was the Knight of Brunsberg, whose suit her family favoured, leading to a siege. So, here we are. Agnes was a strong-willed daughter of 15th Count of Etz, who defied a marriage arrangement with a neighbouring knight, Brunsberg.
the
Upon
neighboring
being
knight.
kissed,
So that she had to have known all the history about him because it was a neighboring knight in the neighboring
upon
castle.
upon being kissed against her will, Agnes slapped the knight, leading him to return with troops to attack the castle after she turned down his marriage. So, there we go.
Yep, that explains it. He was being fresh with her. It's like no
Mm-hmm.
kissing before marriage. Why didn't he understand that? He knows the rules.
You will become my woman. It's like, nope, I'm not. Off you go.
Mm. Well, I feel bad that she ended up dying. I just don't understand why she was defending the castle because the castle they should have had their own guards defending the castle. She should have been in hiding, protected, not out there defending the castle. That's the part I don't understand. Did they not have guards? Were they like poor castle owners? And they just own the castle but didn't have any staff? That's what confuses me. I'm perplexed because where was all their guards? I guess we'll never know because they don't mention them.
Probably with a brother who wasn't around the castle at the time. It's a possibility.
Oh, yeah, maybe their brother was out at battle or something and had all the soldiers with him.
Yes,
So that means the owners of the castle now are descendants of the brother.
indeed.
Oh, that was interesting. Well, thank you very much for that, Dante.
Mm-hmm.
And next week we will have more haunted castles. Woo! With more
Oh, I still got
spooky
one. I
ghosts
still
and
got one.
spirits. Yeah, you're gonna save that for next week because time's up.
Ah, yes, of course, yes.
Yeah, I have a bunch, but we're out of time. So
Now, this one I'm looking forward to actually talking about.
you hear that, people? So tune in because we have a lot more interesting castles to discuss, and most you've probably never even heard of. So thank you for
Mm-hmm.
tuning in to the Expired Show, where we discuss things that are expired. And we will see you next Wednesday.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the podcast, and we will see you next.
Goodbye. 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 Like the Wizard of Oz. Goodbye. Goodbye. I'm
Goodbye
like
for
the
now.
Munchkins. Toodles noodles.